Good morning, everybody. You're watching Iowa Live here on CW Iowa 23, where we talk politics on Tuesday, and we have one party
Just
scoop.
a few things going on to be talking about
There's
here
always
today.
something.
So representing the Republican side, we have Craig Robinson, but a very even-minded man who likes to talk. You do try very hard to talk about what's happening in the world of politics as a whole. And we had a couple of candidates, probably more than just a couple, swinging through the state, and some new faces, or at least one new face.
The list is growing.
Deval Patrick.
Yes, which I'm surprised about because I thought he would completely skip and go to New Hampshire since he is so new to the race. But he wanted to make sure Iowa was a part of this.
The thing is, so like if you, what I always tell candidates, I get frustrated when they do this. Iowa stinks. I'm going to skip Iowa routine.
Right.
Because you just need to find a way to use Iowa. And the thing is if you come here, you'll get a lot of attention and people will pay attention to you. And so I always am of the mindset you should use us. You know, I mean, that's what they're all doing anyway. Come here and meet with people. There's nothing to be scared of. It's late. I mean, we're to that point.
We're less than a year away.
Well, we're months away. I mean, we kicked this thing off February 3rd, and so he has a lot of ground to make up. So I don't know if he's, I don't know if it's even possible to make a strong play. What he's betting on is if there is this. I think you're seeing it. We've heard about Bloomberg and Hillary Clinton too, and so I think what we're seeing is that Joe Biden has faded in this race. We look at the Des Moines Register poll that has Pete Buttigieg leading in Iowa now. This is a reaction to all of that. And and what's going on is all the candidates that are rumored to get in are more establishment type Democrats. And so Biden is fading. He's not the candidate that they thought they had there. And so now other people are starting to look at this race. It's late, but who knows?
So what statement is being made from the Democratic side? Are we showing that we're indecisive, that we don't know, that we
there's
don't have
no problem.
chance?
There's no problem with Democrat activists in the state. I think they're happy with the field. They have plenty of choices to make. What you have, the establishment of the party has a problem, and they're saying we're a little nervous if we're going to nominate a 38-year-old mayor who's been the mayor of a town the size of Davenport, to be our national nominee to run against Trump. They're also nervous about nominating someone like Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders with their massive amounts of spending they want. They're a little worried. Or even Democrats on Wall Street are nervous about how they want to have this wealth tax. Candidates like Biden, the more establishment candidates in that party, think that's a step too far. So this is all a reaction, I think, to Biden slipping in the polls, and we're kind of rejockeying. It'll be interesting if Mayor Pete can hold on to this, what he has. He appeals, when you look at who he appeals to, Iowa's a great state for him. New Hampshire should be okay, except that you're in Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders' backyard. Right. So if Pete Buttigieg is going to have a chance to be the Democrat nominee, he not only needs to maintain his lead now, he needs to be the winner of the Iowa caucuses. He can't finish second or third. He's got to win.
He has to come out on top. Yeah. Okay. Let's move to more local politics as we're going to have another race for our mayor in Des Moines. When are we going to start seeing that ramp up again? Because we were inundated with things happening, and now it's kind of quiet before we have to get back to the polls and vote again.
These are interesting. I mean, I'm always intrigued by these. I think they're odd because you have election day, and then it's like, okay, we're having a runoff, and you think it should be really exciting.
Right.
It never really is. I mean, these are low-dollar campaigns. I don't think we're going to see a lot of TV ads because you're going to see voter turnout go from where it was to even lower. Okay. And this benefits the challenger. This benefits Jack Hatch in this race, and I think a lot of people that I talk to, they kind of think that he's the favorite.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, even though that Mayor County was the top vote getter, Hatch has the energy with the activists. They're fired up over this result. Lower turnout. I give him a really good shot at being the next mayor of Des Moines.
Okay, so we might not see or hear a lot, but it's still happening.
It's going on. It's going on in local meetings, precinct neighborhood meetings, all that stuff. I don't think we're going to see a big push. I would say a week before the race, it'll heat up a little bit. We'll see more stuff in newspapers and such. But I'd like to see these two debate in a formal, real setting. I would like to hear, Hatch and County, even though they're not my mayor, debate each other. It's different. Before you had two other candidates, and there's a lot of noise that goes on. I want to hear these two go back and forth on their plans for the city.
Absolutely. And of course, we're kind of the hot spot for candidates to continue to come through. So we had the new addition to the race, Governor Deval Patrick, but we also had former Montana Governor Steve Bullock recently making his way.
I think Patrick's play is interesting too here, and Bullock, this is a governor who's been elected in a rural red state, should have some appeal, you would think, in a state like Iowa. I just think it's hard to cut through such a crowded field, especially if you're not on debate stages, to get it. Patrick's play is a little bit different. I wonder if Deval Patrick is really making a play. If he doesn't really like this field, if he doesn't like how his party is positioned going into 2020, is he making the bet that, hey, I'm going to throw my name out there, get a little exposure, but maybe this is really a 2024 setup, where he's looking 4 years down the road.
Just kind of getting my name out there now. Speaking of names, our governor is going to have to put a new name forward when it comes to our Iowa Supreme Court.
It's a complicated process in Iowa. It's not actually up to her. But yeah, we've had change on the Supreme Court. This was a kind of a shocking, sudden death of the Chief Justice. I can't remember a Chief Justice dying in office. And so that's... that building's impacted. The court's going to be impacted. Governor Reynolds has already put 2 members on this court. Here's a third, and there's rumors that there's another one potentially coming. And so it's surprising that, she's only been governor for, a couple of years, and yet she's able to put quite an imprint on that Supreme Court makeup. And so the Judicial Nominating Committee and all that will get together. They will vet. There's a formal process we go through. It's not like the governor just gets to say, you know what, Jackie, we think you'd be a great.
Oh, man. I was hoping.
There we go.
Sending in
requests. And the change
There's
begins.
a whole process they go through, which I think is a pretty good process to go through. It's been tweaked a little bit. The governor has a little bit more leeway than before. The Bar Association used to have a little bit heavier hand in it. So the governor should be able to get someone of her liking, but she doesn't necessarily get to say, this is who
person.
I want. Right.
And do we have a deadline of when that is going to be decided?
No, it's a long process. So there'll be interviews, formal interviews, and then the nominating committee will meet, and then they forward 3 names to the governor, which she can pick one. So she gets to pick one of 3.
Okay.
So we'll see. It'll probably, I imagine by the time the legislature maybe reconvenes, or maybe even a little bit after that, we'll see who takes that place.
Okay.
Let's wrap up with a quick thought on the impeachment process.
Interviews still happening.
Hey, it's great. It's great for political nerds like me. I mean, I don't watch a lot of cable news, but man, if there's any hearing, count me in. So I think it's good for that. I think most of Americans have tuned this out, and I think that I haven't seen anything really earth-shattering yet. It's interesting to see the dynamics. I love the play of it all, but I always remind myself and others that my parents don't read the New York Times. They don't watch cable news. And they're aware of all the outrage over Trump, but they don't quite get it because they're not following it as close as I am, or as, people who follow politics. They're not on Twitter.
Right.
They don't see it. And so I think there's a disconnect. So we got to remind ourselves that on Election Day, those people vote too, and those votes matter just as much as mine that's plugged into this thing.
All right, great final thoughts there. Craig Robinson, thank you for joining us. Part of our political talk we have every single Tuesday here on our program. You're watching